road trip, really thin, but it was a long road trip, and you felt the effects of that. This was going to be an even longer road trip. Just what are the challenges that, as coach, you face with the team, keeping them playing their best whenever you long trips like that?
Well, the challenge is always this. It's really, the trip's one thing. If you were playing bad teams, then the challenge wouldn't be near as challenging. But it's the teams you're playing that makes it real challenging. Then you add to travel with it. That just adds to it. We're playing two really good teams. El Paso's as talented as anybody in our league, and they're capable on any night. For whatever reason, maybe it hadn't mixed as well as they anticipated. They probably got the best player in the league in the Williams kid. Like I said, they had five Division I transfers in that program, and it was probably clicking a little bit better earlier than they are now. But at the same time, I know they've lost games, but that still doesn't change their talent. That talent can all come together and can be as good as anybody in this league down the stretch. So that's them on Thursday night. Then you turn around and play a UTEP team. We all know what they're capable of doing with Wallace and Jackson. Those two guards are about as good as any set of guards anywhere in the country. They've had their moments too. They've kind of been up and down a little bit, but at the same time, when those guards are on, they can beat anybody. So, it's a tough challenge because opponents we're playing. Then you add that travel to it. It makes it more challenging. You going with us? Well, you're going to have some challenging travel too. Unfortunately, you don't have to play though. So
you mentioned Lou Williams, guy 6'11". I know at FIU you had another really big guy down there, and he did a lot of inside. Are there similarities, or just what you see with Williams that makes him such a load to handle?
Well, they'll play Williams at that 4 spot some and play another big guy with him. And when they do that, they're really, really big. And he probably plays, half his minutes at the 4 spot. So they're a big, powerful team. The other two guys are 6'10", 6'11". So they present loads. The Williams kid's been a load for everybody. And whether he's at the 4, whether he's at the 5, he presents a challenge for us.
Coach Jackson at UTSA, he's second leading scorer in the nation. How do you go about trying to slow him down?
Well, it's very obvious. If he's the second leading scorer in the nation, which he is, no one's been real successful at doing it. You just don't want him to go off and get 45. And he's capable of doing that. He just came off of, was Old Dominion?
Yeah.
Old Dominion, 45, right? 45. So, if you can hold him to his average, you've done a pretty good job on him. But you can't let him get 20 above his average, or like he does at times. We weren't very successful doing that last year here. I think he had 40, 45 on us. So, again, we got to find different ways to try to limit him best we can. Like I said, it's been a challenge for everybody, but we just don't need him going off and getting 45 on us for sure. If he does, we won't have a chance.
Coach, at this point of the season, when do you say, what has to take place for your team to be as best as possible? Like, when do you say, is it Jordan playing, getting 19 points, or is it Carson taking over games? What does it take for your team to reach its max potential?
Well, I thought Thursday against Louisiana Tech, we were about as good as we could be for that first 20 minutes in every area you could ask, offensively, defensively, against a really good basketball team. I think the biggest thing is just try to stay healthy. Get the bodies we have as healthy as we can, to play the amount of minutes that they got to play. There's going to be certain nights, certain games. Not making shots don't mean you don't play good. Missing shots is part of the game. We didn't make shots out here today. If we make shots, then it changes everything. It would make it look like we played good because you made shots. Again, missing shots don't always determine how you play. Most important thing we got to continue to do to just give us a chance is play with that edge and play with the maximum effort. And we've been doing that pretty close to the edge as we can. We don't have much wiggle room or much room for slippage there. So, I would say, again, get the bodies we got, keep them healthy as we can. And we need everybody. If you're asking me what it would take to be at your best, I mean, naturally, if everybody made shots, as you just said, if Rawls makes all his shots, if Tavion makes his shots and plays, and Savage really shoots it, and Carson does what he does, then we're really, really good. But that's not going to happen every night for nobody, any team, any players, nowhere where you just do it every night. I'll just come back to the one thing, continue to play with that edge that we've played with, that togetherness and that toughness. And then if we can jump up and make some shots, then that gives us a little bit more margin, winning and losing some. We've had to fight many nights, not making a lot of shots. I mean, a lot of nights you look back and these guys have scrapped and fought. It wasn't because we jumped up and made threes. We made different plays, got to the foul line, done those things. But when you can jump up and make three-pointers, I've said it many times, makes the world go round when that happens.
Coach, your team's been through a lot of adversity this year before conference play and losing Charles and not having Kenny, and then in conference play, obviously with Cam missing the time that he has missed. Despite all that, though, you're alone in second place. In your eyes, what does it say about your team that despite all these things that have gone wrong or haven't been ideal, you guys are still there one game behind North Texas, a team that you beat earlier in the year?
Well, I think it's very obvious. A lot of teams could have caved in very easily if you lose a guy like Charles Bassey. There's not many teams have a guy as impactful as he is, not just offensively. And I said all along, offensively, there's some ways you can do some things, but you'll really miss him defensively. The amount of rebounds he's going to get, and not just rebounds, his presence in there defensively, taking away a lot of those baskets. But like I said, a lot of teams could have caved in. These guys deserve a lot of credit. They hadn't caved in at all. They found ways to take it to another level and fight through a lot of things. And like I said, it wasn't just Bassey. It was, Cooper a few days after that. And then you fight through, Cam Justice. There's 3 losses, and basically we didn't have Cam Justice those 3 games. So they've been through a lot of things. So to fight through everything and put himself in this position to still, have a chance to be in a conversation, they deserve all the credit. A lot of credit for the way they've responded, and tells you kind of character, the kind of people they are.
Anything else for Coach?
Good?